You may have noticed when I was mowing the front lawn that I got my front step in and also some blocks, a block wall. So let's go take a look at it. There's the steps. I'm so glad to get those in finally. I was hoping I would get them before winter, and we did. Yay. So there's a spot there on the pavers and a spot there. When they pour the steps, they need to put some kind of oil on the sides where the forms are, so that the forms will come off easily when they're finished with the steps. Well, apparently what happened is their oil container, sprayer, whatever it was, it leaked, and when they set it down in a few places, it leaked. So we've been putting dish soap on it, scrubbing it in, and scrubbing it with water. The last 2 times I did it, I used hot tap water, and I think it worked better than the cold hose water. Here's a look at the rock wall, or the block wall, I should say. They're quite big blocks. I'll show you how big they are. There's my foot. So they're pretty good size, and they go all along here to hold the soil back. Because when we built this wall to keep the deer out, we brought in some more dirt and piled it up on the outside of the shoulder of the road. And so these stones, these blocks, will keep that soil back. It will hold it back. And there's the steps, and there's some more of the block wall on the other side. We just went part way because after that it was all right. I'm so happy to get that done. And I think it's beautiful, and I've got some plans for it too. We'll talk about those plans later, but it's something to do with that right there. Oh boy. Let's take a little garden tour before we go back in the house. Here's the broccoli that sprouted in the winter sowing jug that I planted earlier this spring. If you remember, I planted a couple of jugs with broccoli. This is the only one that sprouted, and it continued to grow. And since it's grown this long, you would think it would be forming a head by now, but no head of broccoli for me, I guess. I think I will get some beets, however, because here they are, and they are doing well. Some of them are even getting pretty big, so I'm looking forward to harvesting the beets. When I said no broccoli for me, I was just kidding, maybe, because the ones that I planted and then covered them with this really sheer fabric, they're doing better. They actually look more like broccoli than that first one. First one has so many leaves. These look more like the ones I planted before. And this is my redneck cover. There are 5 broccolis in here. See that one? There's one over there, and there's 3 on this side over here. I have basil coming up in here, and I went ahead and planted the celery starts. Some of them are actually enjoying being out here. But I don't know if we have enough days in the summer / fall that they can grow very much. We'll see. There's another basil over there. There's two more basils way down here by the I'm just kidding you broccoli. And then also, if you remember, this is the asparagus that was planted by itself. But here's some basil that I've cut off, some that I haven't, some that I have and it's coming back. It's really hardy around here, and some more. So I've given some to family members and myself. I started out with 11 big sunflowers, and 3 of them have fallen over. So I took them out and gave them to the chickens, and boy did they love them. It's so interesting because they especially love the leaves, even more than the seeds. Although, let's see what we got up here. They like the seeds too. Here we are in the back again. This is where I have the peppers planted and the tomatoes planted, and they have been growing, so that's been wonderful. I will show you that even though I have super rich soil in these buckets, probably too much nitrogen, I think that's why their leaves went berserk. But guess what? I know you're there. There. A nice bell pepper. And there's some others starting too. I've noticed some, like this one right here. This one back here. So I'm really excited about that. I'm hoping that we don't get an early frost, that these will have time to produce more, as well as the tomatoes, which are starting to set fruit. Let's see if I can find, see that little tiny one? These are Roma tomatoes. If my memory serves me right, I've never grown Romas. I've usually grown just the regular, I don't know what they call it, beefsteak type tomatoes. But I do make a lot of lasagna and spaghetti, so there, can you see those? They are in the shade. There's a couple right there, yeah, there they are. And then the first ones I noticed that are now getting bigger are those right there. And there's another one up there. Those two. And there's one right there. And one next to it. Small one right there. So I am, to say the least, very excited, happy that I am actually getting some produce back here because, you know, I got a very late start. Like about a month late. But things are doing well. I'm feeling great. Planted a couple here. One in that bucket, one in that one. See if they do anything. Okay, the reason why I have a bike here and a bungee cord is to keep the deer out. That's what I do in my, what do you call it? When I'm relaxing and just thinking, planning, it's usually something about how am I going to keep the deer out. So, What do you think about in your spare time? I hope you're having a productive harvest and a great summer, that you're bottling lots of good food. We call it bottling out here. I know some people call it canning, but I don't put food in cans, I put it in bottles. And I hope you're doing the same. I hope you're preparing. Whew. Flies are crazy this time of year. I'm thankful that I was able to mow the lawn again, to give you a tour of the fun project that was done for me, and I really appreciate it. And also a little tour of the garden. And I appreciate everything that's growing in there too. Remember that even when you take it slow, you can accomplish a lot. Thanks for watching.